ago, my next guest was down on her luck and also a soon-to-be mom. Today, with the help of an organization called Step by Step and its director, she's raising 2 healthy little girls, and she's an assistant manager at a restaurant in her small town. For that, she is thankful. Get it, Jesse. Please welcome Rachel, y'all. Give it up for her. Take us back 5 years ago, and what was going on?
I just found out that I was pregnant for the first time. I was still going through the grieving stages of losing my mother. She died of a heart attack. And I was having a hard time with the fact that I was becoming a mother for the first time without my mom.
That was really hard. So your friends noticed actually that you were struggling, right?
Yes. My friends who I worked with noticed that I was struggling. I was having a hard time. And they wanted me to go to Step by Step. At Step by Step, I met up with a counselor. First question she asked me was, "Do you have health care?" And I was like, "No, I don't got no health care." And then she asked me a whole list of questions. And the answer was just no, 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 no.
And that's scary.
It was scary. It really was.
Yeah.
And that's when they gave me the services. They helped me find breastfeeding classes, which I never heard of before. I didn't even know there was a class to teach you how to breastfeed. I thought you just already know. And they also helped me with Lamar's classes, as well as other maternity services.
That's amazing. And then it was as if this wasn't all difficult enough and there wasn't so many hurdles. Then it was a few months later that another struggle happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
3.5 months later, I found out I was pregnant again. And I was already having a hard time. I was going through postpartum depression. And anyone who's been through postpartum depression, it takes a toll on you. And I needed help again.
Yeah.
So I reached back out to Step by Step.
Yeah.
And they opened the doors for me, and they gave me counseling, and they helped me prepare myself again for motherhood.
Was that hard having to call back like so soon and being like, so, yeah, that kind of, was that a hard call? Or what happened on that call?
It was hard.
Yeah.
I just knew that I just knew that I was having a hard time, and I couldn't figure out why. And pregnancy had a deal to do with it, but the call that I received was the call that blew me away. That was from Krista.
Yeah.
It came out the blue, and Krista met up with me because she wanted to talk to me about her idea of a social enterprise. She explained to me that she was opening up Farm 12. Farm 12 is a restaurant established by Christa to give past mothers that went through Step by Step a chance again in the workforce. She asked me to be the assistant manager of the restaurant because she knew my background. And of course I said yes. So I'm your captain.
That's amazing. I'll be your captain. That's amazing.
Yes.
Krista is actually backstage. She thinks that she's here to tell us about this step-by-step program, which we will obviously want to hear about, but she has no clue that Rachel is here too and wants to express her thanks in the biggest ways. That's a surprise, and we'll see that emotional moment next. I'm so excited to get her out here. Years ago, my next guest created a simple mission: identify women struggling with motherhood and help them become better moms and people, not through handouts, but through education and support, which is really important. So today she's been a huge life changer for more than 1,000 moms and their kids. That's quite the impression. Please welcome from Step by Step, Krista Linden, y'all. Just reading that, I hope you feel accomplished and successful in your purpose, because it's a beautiful thing what you do. And how did you come up with Step by Step?
Well, it started when I was a senior in college, and I was doing a student teaching experience, and I was in a first grade classroom, and it was the first day of school, and all the kids seemed super excited to be there except this one little girl. And thinking that maybe she had just had a rough morning, I went over to introduce myself to her, and the moment that my eyes met hers, my heart just sunk, and I was told by the teacher that she had fetal alcohol syndrome, and I had never heard of that before, but the effects of it were immediately apparent on her. And I bonded with her in a way I haven't bonded with another child except for my own, and we were together all the time. And her mom never came to anything, but at the end of the student teaching experience, I got permission to go to her apartment and to meet her mother and to see the home, and it was horrific. And I spent the day with her, and that was the last time I saw her. And I do know that she was put into foster care and she was adopted, but her face never left my mind, and so
made an impact.
Made a huge impact. And my husband and I met in college, and then in 1997 I held my first of 7 daughters in my arms for the first time, and it was then that Leanne's face haunted me. And
Wait, did you say you have 7 daughters? I wish there was wine in here so I could hand it to you. Like,
I can take it.
That's a lot of estrogen. But okay, that's a remarkable thing as well. But you just couldn't keep her out of your mind, right?
So I thought if there was anything I was going to do with my life other than raise my girls, and I didn't know there was going to be 7 of them at the time, but I wanted to really come in at a time, at such a vulnerable time, and really help change the trajectory of a child's life. And even if it was 2 or 3, and now Step by Step serves 1,200 women at a time across 4 counties. So
that's incredible.
It's been a big deal.
That's while being a mom of 7 girls. You're like a superhero. Like, I mean, we have 4 kids and I got a lot of jobs. It still sounds like way more work. I'm like, wow.
Too, yeah.
So what are some of the services that help the women through via Step by Step?
So we help babies be born healthy, and that is what we've done for 23 years. And we have a team of registered nurses, dietitians, and master level counselors who go into the homes of women who are referred to us from DSHS, from their OB doctor, different places. And whether it's their home or their shelter or their car, wherever it is that we're living, we go to them to build that a quicker trust and to really assess what their situation is. And so we address all the barriers that or issues they have that would potentially lead to a poor birth outcome. So hypertension and gestational diabetes, and, toxic relationships and domestic violence, and early entry into prenatal care, trying to do as much of that as we can. And then once the baby's born, which we hope is born full term and healthy, then we work on infant bonding and infant nutrition, infant safety, postpartum depression, all those types of issues.
You're incredible. This is incredible. It's so cool. But Krista doesn't know this, but one of the women that she's been working with for years is actually here and has something to tell her. Rachel, come on out here. Come on out. Yeah. Oh my gosh, well, have a seat. So Rachel, I know that you've been wanting to tell Krista something.
Krista. Yes. My dearest Krista. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I want you to know you made me feel like a flower. And you watched me grow.
I'm going to keep watching you grow.
And I will be there because there's other flowers in the ground too. Other mothers who needs it. And I want to thank you for facing me towards the sun.
Yes. That was so poetic. I mean, I'm fine. First of all, like, you should start writing poetry or songs or something. Like, that was really well said. I will not stop talking until you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's right, and I can talk a lot. Seriously, not gonna stop. Yep, still here, not going anywhere. I see you. Don't walk away from this.